to communicate with so many people from Shaw. It's always heartwarming to come back, since I get to come back once or twice a year with family. It's just great. But I would, and I want to give credit to the many people who have done and are still doing and will continue to do the work of moving forward. And I think of the power of the people for progress. A lot of times people don't feel they have power, and it's easy to feel that way, but we do have power. Every single person has power. We often think of the leaders, the recognized leaders, the people who are on TV or have their name somewhere. Those are very important leaders. But we also have leaders no one's heard of. In Shaw, we certainly have heard of, respect, and love the Hawkins family. And I was blessed to stay with them for several months as well when I first came here after Freedom Summer, and then several more months with the Johnny and Rochella Ferguson family. So there are people along the way who we don't know of. We don't know who took the courage to step forward, who tried to vote, who didn't even tell anybody that they went to the courthouse to register. So I feel like we need to pay attention to each individual and realize that that can be us in one way or another. And the second thing is that we, with organizing, and sometimes that's very informal, talking to a person, encouraging them, and you have a small group and later on larger groups. But when we think of groups, I like to suggest that we pay attention to various age groups because, for instance, teenagers are often massively underrated. Here in Shaw, in not just Freedom Summer, not just the Freedom Labor Union, but every step of the way in every activity, the teenagers and even a little younger were very active, highly committed, offering ideas that were accepted by the whole community. So we need to remember this is a huge resource for whatever efforts that we are taking to move forward. We often think of people in the middle age groups as potential people, but we also need to remember retirees often have the time, the knowledge, and the ability, and the willingness to hang in, be consistent, to contribute to whatever our positive effort is. And I would just like to mention two other quick things. And one is, if you are trying to make positive change, I suggest when you try to get other people involved, that you ask more of them, not less of them. How many times have we heard somebody say, would you please do this? We only meet once a month. Trying to make it easy for people to be involved. But you know what? In the movement here, people worked every day, through the day, through the evening. If they did have a job, they came after the job, went to Freedom School, also tried to register, all kinds of activities every day. And that helps engender commitment as well as the results that come about. And the last thing I'd like to suggest is that when we are making efforts toward positive change, that we keep the vision, the goals up front all the time. In the movement, of course, we did a lot of that with music. The freedom songs we sang not only encouraged us and gave all of us more courage that we definitely needed, but it kept those phrases in front of us. Thank you.